Gumata Nivar Sumatake Sangi. Supremely valorous, extremely brave, with a strong body like a thunderbolt, you exterminate evil thoughts and are the companion of righteous thoughts. So this chopai we call the title Victory Over the Self. The word Mavir, which means Mavir, the one who endeavors and his valor is insuppressible, one who is an unbeatable warrior, is called a Mavir. Hanumanji has never been defeated by anyone except for once. He, on his own will, got himself trapped by a divine weapon, Brahma Sutra, held by Meghnan, who was Ravan's son. This was to uphold the honor of Lord Brahma, from whom Meghnan had acquired the weapon. Besides, Hanumanji, as an emissary of Sri Ram, wanted to survey people and happenings in the royal court of Ravan. One who conquers others is a Veer, brave, but one who conquers the self is a Mavir. Conquering the other is relatively easy, but conquering the self is very difficult. In the former, one can take external help, but for the latter, one has to strive on his own. Victory over others may be temporary, because the other will always try to retaliate, whereas victory over the self is permanent. What does victory over the self mean? One may wonder. It is to subdue all the five sense organs, the mind and the intellect. When mastered, they can serve us better on the path towards self-actualization. Most people find it difficult to tread on the spiritual path simply because they have no control over their sense organs, mind and intellect. Srimad Adi Shankaracharya cautions us in the Vivek Chudamani, number 76, Shabdavati Panchabir Eva Panch, Panktavan Apaswa Gunena Buddha, Kurang Matang Patang Mean, Brungang Nara Panchabi Anchirikim. A deer, an elephant, a moth, a fish, and a wasp. These five have all died from their attachment to one of the senses, like sound, etc. So what about the man who is attached to all five? Let's take them one by one. Kurang, a deer. A deer is very fond of music. A hunter plays the bin, which is a wind instrument in India, the sound of which attracts a herd of deer. His fellow hunters are ready to capture them. Uncontrolled lust of hearing therefore draws a deer to death. Number 2, matang. An elephant cannot control its sense of touch. Hunters lay a trap to kill and extradite the tusk of a male elephant. They strategically position a female elephant. A big pit is dug in front of her and covered with layers of grass. The male elephant, sighting the female, rushes to her for mating. The lust-driven male falls into the trap, wherein it dies after a few days for want of food. Uncontrolled lust for the sense of touch brings about the death of an elephant. Number 3, patang. A moth, on seeing a flame, gets attracted to it and dives into it. Urdu poets glorify this as sacrifice in love of the flame's beauty, but actually it is stupidity according to Sanskrit poets. Since thousands of years, billions of moths have lost their lives in flames, yet they have not even evolved to learn the lesson of staying away from it. Being attracted to the flame due to uncontrollable lust of sight brings about the death of a moth. Number 4, mean. A fish loses its life to bait dangling at the end of a fishing rod. Uncontrolled lust of taste brings about the death of a fish. Number 5, brung. A wasp enters into a full-blown lotus to suck nectar. It continues to enjoy the fragrance, and at sunset the lotus closes its petals. The wasp, though capable of piercing through the tender petals, continues to lie inside, thinking that it will fly off when the lotus reopens the next morning. In the meantime, a herd of elephants enters the lake and squashes the lotus, resulting in the death of the wasp inside. Uncontrolled lust for smell brings about the death of a wasp. Lust for just one sense organ brings about the end of these 5 creatures. What would be the fate of a human being having 5 uncontrolled, powerful sense organs? An unsteady mind makes one a slave to endless desires. Also, man, though an animal, is a rational animal. Can I ask the people coming in to sit on this side? The seats at the front. Is a rational animal. But he's used his rationale to rationalize his totally irrational activities. Such an intellect makes him fall into the cycle of births and deaths. In order to evolve spiritually, Namaskar Satishi, a human must conquer his sense organs, mind and intellect. Hanumanji is Mahavir because he is fully triumphed over all of these. Mahaprabhu Srimad Vallabhacharya defines the word Mahavir as one freed from mud, arrogance, madan, lust, and matsar, jealousy. The more arrogant that a person appears, the emptier he is from within. Inner fulfillment makes a person straightforward and humble. The study of the Ramcharitmanas and the Valmiki Ramayana reveals that though Hanumanji was praised by everyone, including Ravan, he never indulged in self-praise. On the contrary, he felt embarrassed in such situations and attributed his achievements to Sri Ram's grace. He always proclaimed himself as a mere servant of Sri Ram. We all know about the character Kamdev, who is similar to Cupid in the West. It's well known that Kamdev once tried to incite Lord Shiva during his meditation. Perturbed by this distraction, Lord Shiva opened his third eye, the command center, and burnt Kamdev to ashes. Hanumanji, being an incarnation of Lord Shiva, obviously has complete control over lust. A person with wrong and lusty thoughts cannot go near a blissful and pious person. Even if the former attempts to do so, the bad thoughts in his mind will vanish owing to the noble radiance of the pious person. Lust, therefore, does not even dare come in even distant proximity with Hanumanji. Having delved in detail about controlling arrogance and lust, let us now turn our gaze to jealousy. It's relatively easy to share someone's grief, but rather difficult to relish in someone's happiness. It's all the more difficult to relish the happiness of near and dear ones. It is a human tendency to compare one's own possessions and circumstances with others and feel unsatisfied. The sense of inadequacy about the self and giving exaggerated value to others leads to dissatisfaction and hence jealousy. Suppose someone reads about a homeless beggar winning a lottery of 5 million. He'll carry out the cutting on this news and show it to everyone he comes across, saying, "See how lucky this chap is. He has nothing and suddenly he's won a fortune. 5 million is not a small amount, man. He has never met this beggar even once, nor he is likely to meet him ever, so 5 million to a beggar does not make any difference to a person. But if his neighbour wins a lottery of mere 5,000, our friend will not be able to sleep for a week. His mind will just be glued to one thought. Alas, Lady Luck missed just one door. How I wish I won that amount." A beggar winning a lottery of 5 million is just news. One may go around and keep telling people and sharing the news with others, but a neighbour winning a paltry sum of 5,000 creates heartburn. When the grass is greener on the other side of the fence, it's actually the time to water one's own grass. This is the only way to remain free from jealousy. Bikram Bajarangi means that Hanumanji is exceptionally valiant with a body so strong like a thunderbolt. Kumata Nivar Sumatake Sangi. Hanumanji eradicates evil thoughts and is a constant companion of righteousness. One may be tempted to garner success by shortcuts and wrong tactics, but it's always short-lived. A true leader stays clear of such wrong tactics. He leads his team with righteous ideas and just methods for enduring success. The influence of a noble person on one's life can be illustrated by the following example. When Swami Vivekananda was on the Himalaya pilgrimage, he came across an extremely humble and enlightened sage. During an intimate dialogue with the sage, a reference of Baba Hari Baba cropped up. Swamiji, who himself had a very high regard for Baba, explained, "Oh, you know Baba too?" Overwhelmed by the sheer remembrance of Baba's name, the sage told Swamiji, "Let me narrate an incident from the life of Baba Hari Baba. Once while Baba was asleep, he heard some rattling noise in the hut. A sudden disappearance in his sleep made him yell. Could someone at the back close the door? Made him yell. Who is it? A thief had entered into the hut. On hearing Baba's voice, he left the booty and tried to escape. The booty comprised of nothing else but a small collection of utensils. Seeing the scattered utensils and a fleeing thief, Baba composed himself, collected the utensils in a piece of cloth, and started chasing the thief. After a long chase, Baba caught hold of the thief and asked with folded hands, "Narayan, what provoked you to run? This Das caused trouble to you by waking up suddenly." The thief was stunned and did not know how to react. Baba continued, "Please take away those utensils, O Narayan, as you need them more than this Das does, Prabhu. Please pardon this Das for having inconvenienced you." Baba always referred to himself as Das, a humble servant, and others as Narayan or Prabhu. Taken aback by Baba's humility, the thief felt relieved from fear, but was embarrassed all the more. He mused, "Oh Baba addresses a heinous thief like me as Narayan, the Lord? How great he has become by realizing that he perceives God in everyone." The thief fell at Baba's feet, and without taking anything, returned not only from Baba, but also from his fallen life tainted with criminal deeds. The spellbound Vivekananda exclaimed to the sage, "I know of Baba Hari Baba in quite detail, but this incident is unknown to me. How could you narrate it so vividly?" "Because I was that thief," said the sage with damp eyes. Let's go to Chapai number 4. Kanchan Barana Viraj